what's going on, everyone? This is Jeff at Team Nerd Herd.
Why did you do
that? Over here on the Nearing Nirvana channel for another episode of Cover Lovers. We've got our special guest over here, MND. We got Mike and Deo. What's going on, Mike?
Nothing, man. It's just a long, hot day today. Feels like of 103 here in good old Nashville, so it's a little toasty. And I went to the dentist today, so not a great Monday, but I am happy to be here and talking geekness with you, sir. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You got yourself a new super treasure hunt today.
Yes, and it's a Chevy truck.
It is not a Chevy truck. It's a Ford truck. It's a Ford F1 purple super treasure hunt from 2021.
2021.
Did you guys find it?
No. Okay. No, he earns points, and that's what he chooses to cash his points in for.
Smart guy.
When I get 50 points.
I like that system. I wish I had that system.
Yeah, I know, really, right?
Well, before we get started with the deck,
Nikki Man.
Let's give a shout out to our sponsors really quick. Oh, hey, look at the little one. What's up? How's it going, Max?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick you up.
All right, well, let's get started here. We've got if you want to get unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, and that's 30 days of unlimited cover price, you can type in the code NERDVANA14. That's NERDVANA14. And then you go over to our pals over at Bird City Comics. You can get 10% off your purchase with typing in the code TNH10. And then if you go over to our pals at DisplayGeek.com, you can get 10% off your first purchase by typing in the code Team Nerd Herd. Get a bunch of protectors for your toys and your collectibles and your video games. And maybe even some Funko Pops to purchase. And then we also want to give a shout out to our 4 horsemen. We got Santi Rudy 1, Something Wong, The Anime, etc., and Glenn 2K12. And also our resident DJ Beats by Monster. Go check them out. Go check out Eddie. Thanks for the beats, my friend. All right. And then we got a big chat going on here. And look at that. Copy 801 is first. And he's back. I haven't seen him in a long time. So what's going on, Copy? And then we've got Batmite in the house. Hey, Doreen. How's it going? And then, of course, we got Trish Forstner. How's it going, Trish? I know. I can't wait to see what's going on. And then we've got Christopher H. Thank you. Evening. Thank you for dropping by. Hopefully it will seem that... But it does seem that Marvel's dying slow death with the movies. Oh. We've gone there already. Look at this comment. You heard? Did you see? I haven't seen it, but I heard the same. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Stan Swagger, what's going on? Thank you for dropping in.
I'm enjoying it.
See, I'm enjoying it. I don't know what the issue is. I actually haven't read all the hate. I see all the hate. I just don't know why.
I mean, there's a bait and switch, which people are pissed off about, but you know what? Get over it. And just enjoy it.
There's not many shows that are perfect.
No, and actually, guys, if we're critical about the original trilogy, it ain't perfect either. Let's go back and rewatch some of that stuff. And
yes,
I think if you look at it with a critical eye, it ain't perfect either.
Sometimes it's hard to rewatch it.
And this is don't forget, this is from a guy who has a Star Wars tattoo. So I mean, like, yeah, I'm a real fan, but there's some problems with those first movies too. Let's try to watch them through the right lens.
Well, Sam here, Wookiee Fanatic 19, says he likes it. So don't believe everything you hear. And we got Ronnie Saunders. Thank you for dropping in. And let's see. Oh, Morello Tunes. What's going on, Mr. Morello? Thank you for dropping in, sir. And then we got Mr. Guy Forge. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for not excluding me. And we got Still Chilling in the house. Thank you for dropping by. And I think we're all caught up now. Let's get started. Okay. Sorry, I'm on a single screen here, fellas. So.
Low tech.
I know.
I got it.
Okay. Here we go. And our first cover for incentives, we've got Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime. I believe this is number 1. And we've got a 1 in 10 by Gabriel Delato. We've got a 1 in 25 by Walt Simonson. We've got a 1 in 50 by J. Scott Campbell. And we've got a 1 in 100 by Pepe Larraz. Okay, so Mike and Dale, what cover do you like?
Wow. Man. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I'll cover the best.
Which one?
The Campbell. I love the Delato, and I'll tell you what, that he's got that other amazing Uncle Scrooge that he did 3 years ago, I want to say, with the black background, which is also amazing. I think I don't have the version of that. I think I have the trade dress of it, but and the Simonson is good, solid. There's some problems with it from a, as Trish would say, on model. In this case, it's a little off model. Really good. I like the framing. I like the coloring of it. I like his attitude. I love the Magica painting portrait, sort of in the style of the Mona Lisa. Is kind of funny. The Larraz is there's all kinds of things that, I mean, it doesn't look at all right to me. I get what's trying to happen there, and it's an interesting concept, but it doesn't quite work, and it certainly doesn't feel like a one. That the Delato isn't the 1 in 100, just based on artist popularity here. But yeah, man, I think the Campbell is the closest on model. It's a nice layout. It's colored well. It's a good composition. I really like it. I want to see Campbell do less shitty, skinny women and more shit like this. I think this is maybe he's better at this stuff than I thought.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
Actually try to find myself on
I like the Delato. I'm not upset at the Simonson, but I also see what you're saying. There are what is he wearing? Like, that just looks like he's in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, that might be an old school costume from something I don't know, but I don't recognize it either. It's certainly not anything he ever wore in DuckTales, that's for sure.
Yeah. It gives that throwback feel, which is cool. I agree the Larraz does not feel like a 1 in 100. I would have switched at least the Delato on the Larraz, if not the Campbell. I'm going to agree with you on this one, on the J. Scott Campbell, as my favorite as well. I just feel like the colors pop out. Like you said, the framing, it really sticks out amongst the other three. I just like how shiny and like the details on it, and it is surprising that he did so well. Maybe it shouldn't be surprising, but it's just because we've been getting the same things from him over and over. And it's getting old, and he's getting lazy on those. So I think this is refreshing from J. Scott Campbell. So I'm definitely going to agree. The 150. I bet you it's going over ratio.
I assume they probably. I assume so. Yeah. To answer the chat, I think, Jeff, you were talking about sleeping bag as the Simonson, right?
I'm sorry.
When you were saying
Yes,
it looks like a
the
sleeping
sleeping
bag,
bag.
you were talking about the Simonson, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was clarifying because I think they thought you were not sure about the Delato, but I read it as Simonson.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the Simonson.
Okay.
Yeah, it does look like the older costume, but it just feels a little over baggy on the bottom. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little off.
Trish, why the hell didn't I ask you to do one of these? You would have crushed this cover. Or did you do one for somebody?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah. It's definitely the Simonson is the sleeping bag.
If there's a blank, I'm just going to have you draw me one instead.
Yes, why didn't I ask Trish?
I don't get it.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We've got 2 autographs. Venom Separation Anxiety number 2 and the Amazing Spider-Man number 52. All right. I guess I'll go first. I kind of dig the Venom, but I don't know. That Spider-Man is really it kind of stands out. It's a little more cleaner. I know the Venom looks kind of cool, but I'm not digging the background. I know this is kind of it's kind of plain on the Spider-Man as well in that sense, but I like where they highlighted and I see where the light is coming from. I kind of dig it a little bit more because just the Venom is a little off in the arm areas, like he's missing part of the symbiote. So I don't know. That's just me. How about you, Mike?
Yeah. Seen a billion times. Something about the Spider-Man feels digital to me, which bothers me from Granoff. Since we know he can paint, and maybe he did paint this, but somehow the finished render looks digital, whereas the Venom doesn't. So I think the Venom in that way is better to me. There's also kind of a cool lean look to his face, which is kind of a unique take on the character. So I dig a little different. So I guess the Venom just barely is my choice here, but they're both kind of meh and forgettable to me.
Yeah, I'm hoping that is painted because that's what I was thinking in my head. So that's why I was like, oh, it's nice because it feels like it's digital, but he probably painted it.
It is probably painted, but it doesn't look it. It's weird.
That's true. All right. Well, we are split on this one.
I don't think it's
all right.
best work on it.
We've got a Brett Booth Street Fighter Masters Game Gals number 1. Alonzo doesn't seem like it's a 1 in 5, so this you might be able to get for cover price. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Oh my god! I mean, what really? Why? Okay, I mean, I guess this is as close as you're going to get to like a spread eagle shot.
This is approved by Sir Loris at House of the Dragons.
Sort of a sneaky take on getting a crotch shot, but I mean, I think the cover's kind of awful anyway. regardless of that, it's all the purple and the light and stuff kind of muddle what's going on, and the proportions are. I get that these are supposed to be muscular characters that are supposed to be able to kick ass. I get all that. But it just like sometimes they get impressionism a little too far, and in this case, I think it's just a little too far. So I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I think it's actually a really ugly cover.
Well, Big Rob's not here to defend it, so
no, he would defend it. He probably bought 10 of them, but
yeah, I agree. The proportions are off. I mean, her back left leg is a lot longer than it should be. It just. Yeah, this is not a cover I would think was an incentive. I just think it was a character cover. So Yeah, I would pass, but you'll probably get it for cover price, like I said. If you're lucky enough, if your LCS gets 5 of these at all. So, good luck finding it. Yeah, we're both a pass on this one for sure. We do agree with Alonzo. All right, we've got a Vasco Georgiev, Nightwing number 115, a 1 in 25. Alonzo a huge Nightwing fan, and he gave it the slap on the face. So yeah, yeah, this is not okay. I feel like he was trying to achieve something here, but it just didn't pull it off. I can see the Joker smile in the background. Just all the other stuff in the background is just too muddled and it's a little too much. And like actually the smile's not bad. If you just take away Nightwing, it would have been fine actually. But Nightwing just looks terrible. The proportions are off. His arm is shortened. Hands are kind of small. It's a little off for me. So yeah, I agree with Alonzo. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, it's amateurish. It just doesn't look good. I mean, it actually doesn't even look like really all that great interior art. It's pretty poor. Yeah, you're right. They're foreshortened poorly. I think that's the problem, actually. And yeah, I get what Georgiev was going for here, but it just none of it plays. It doesn't work. Sort of like this weird floating over the city thing. It doesn't look like a layered cover. It just looks like monster Nightwing Godzilla version over the top of Tokyo here. Ready to smash buildings. It's just kind of silly, and none of the layers are proportioned correctly to give it the effect it's supposed to have.
Yeah, it is a little over.
I think it's the cover.
It's definitely confusing. You got the circus stuff on top. You got the Joker weird smile in the background. It's just, and honestly, like the art, all of the art, there's like 4 layers of different art almost. Like they completely look different. So yeah, definitely a pass for both of us.
Agreed.
All right, moving quite along. Oh, Alonzo put baby arms. Now he knows what Deadpool feels like. All right, we've got an Ariel Olivetti, Brier number 6. It's a 1 in 20. Mike, what do you think?
So, Brier, over the multiple series, I think there's been 2 series of this. I'm not positive about that, but there's been some really sneaky good covers for this series. There's been some bad ones too, but in this case, this is a really cool horror cover. In that, I mean, if you go back and you look at like old DC horror, Bronze Age stuff, and that kind of ilk, you'll have covers like this with like the quickly aged person or graveyard thing or cool ghost cover, as much horror as they could get away with on a mainstream coded book. And this kind of has that feel to it. It actually also kind of has the painted style of the old Warren mag covers that like Torres Pratt and those kinds of covers that I love. So this has a feel to it that I really, really like. I'm not interested in Brier, so I don't know that I care all that much. This one, good attention to environment, some really great rendering, a really kind of dark theme, and a really good mood overall. Good color palette choices. Olivetti's really good. I really like this cover. I assume there's a trade dress version of it, just based on all that space at the top. I assume that was held there for trade dress. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but I like this cover. I don't know if I would pay 1 in 20 for it, but I might buy it if there's a cover price trade dress version. I like the cover. I think it's really.
Yeah. I agree. It gives me the old, the slip covers for like horror or fantasy books.
Mm-hmm.
that gives this style of art gives me that feel.
Yep.
I mean, I just love the details in all the branches. I like the shading on the lighting. It just look. I'm not a horror fan, but I can appreciate good art, and this is it gives us that feeling of that old witch dying, aging really rapidly right in front of you. So I mean, it looks really cool. I don't know if you'll find it. It's Brier number 6. That means they're gonna have to order at least 20 issues of this.
That's unlikely.
Yeah. So good luck, everyone, I suppose. And yeah, we'll move on to the next one. All right. And then we've got an amazing Spider-Man number 257 facsimile edition by Tony Daniel. It's a 1 in 25. So now they're doing incentives for facsimiles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. Wow.
Wow. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, none of us should. They do it on Free Comic Book Day now. I thought that would never happen.
That's just sad in a different way because that just takes books away from kids, which
yes, I agree. Well, I mean, there are some
which really bothers me.
There are some nice LCSs that actually get some of the incentives, and they like put it out there for someone to find.
That's cool.
That's cool. I mean, I've seen that before. But back to the book, back to the cover. It's an improvement from the original, I guess. It's actually not bad. The proportions look right. The way he's got him kind of like squatted in a more shaped up in like a ball. I guess I dig that a little bit more too. I actually like it. I just don't know if I would support this. It's 1 in 25 for a facsimile, but it's actually good art. I think there's just something wrong. Maybe it's just the black or the way it's drawn, but Spider-Man his torso looks a little flat, like it's more 2D than 3D. But I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's just the way the symbol works, and he couldn't get enough shading to make it look like a rounded body. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I don't mind it from an art perspective, but I'm with you, and I haven't gone on a tirade in a long time. I'm not going to tonight, but like this money grab shit, it's bad that people fall for it. That's the thing that bothers me most. Like, don't you see what they're doing? I mean, how can people not see it? This cover? It's not good enough to warrant whatever people would have to pay for this, even if it's at ratio, even if it's below, even if it's $20. Don't support this, people. Please don't support Marvel doing stuff like this. This is really awful shit. It's too bad because the cover's not bad, and I kind of wish it were just on a regular Spidey book instead. But yeah, I can't support it either. But you're right. All the things that you mentioned are true. It's a good solid piece of art, and I do think it's an improvement over the original. But still, I can't support the concept.
Yeah, this is one of those books that I would be torn if I didn't know that was a 1 in 25 for a facsimile. That's an easy buy for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Unfortunate, but I mean, if you like it, buy it. They're trying to pull money everywhere, and we're the suckers for buying them. So. And I include myself for sure. All right, we move on to Jeff Spoke's cover for Wonder Woman number 10. It's a 1 in 25. Mike, what do you think?
Man, I would have liked it if it were just, what is her? Yara. I would have liked just the Yara by herself.
I was thinking the exact same thing when I first saw it.
That's a pretty solid second of the cover. I think, although I get that it's a cool kind of unique depth perspective take on the whole multiple character cover thing, or multiple versions of a character thing, which other people just kind of like splash a bunch of faces or some really, really busy thing. This is a little bit more of a composition, I guess. So I'll give it that. But I really wish it were just Yara Flor and nobody else. Because I actually think this would, but then it might look an awful lot like all that Wonder Woman series, which all kind of looked like this. So I don't know. Maybe the concept is cool, but it doesn't again feel like an incentive to me. It feels like kind of an A, B, C cover pricey kind of cover. I don't think it warrants the incentive, but I get what he was going for, but it's a little too busy as it is.
I absolutely agree with you. Actually, like you took the words out of my mouth. I felt like the first thing I saw was Yara. Obviously, she's forefront, but she just looks better drawn overall, more detail. I mean, Wonder Woman's face looks like she's trying to do the Zoolander's face. I mean, she's trying to give that blue steel look or something like that. Like it's just throwing me off.
Yeah.
And the background characters are even less detailed than her. He didn't really care about the ruins in the background. They just look like sticks. So I mean, it's and like you said earlier, I don't think it's more than a B or C cover. I wouldn't even put this as an A cover. So I don't know. This is DC back at their old games of doing, picking their incentive covers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not, it's no bueno. No. So I would pass on this one for sure. All right. And then we've got Matt Taylor's Batman Superman World's Finest number 28, 1 in 25. I dig the old like Mondo coloring, but I feel like that's even a little off, a little too much bleeding.
Yes.
What?
Oh, Dale, do you see the Batman Superman cover?
The Batman Superman cover. What do you think of this one? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Jeff.
No. Let's have Dale look at it.
What do you think about this? I'll show you later. What do you think about this one? There's no girl. Those are both boys.
Sorry, Dale.
Yeah. You like the colors, but not the people.
I'm with you, Dale.
I don't like the blackness, but I like the pinkness and blueness.
You like the pinkness and blueness?
And
Okay, and the orangeness.
I agree. Like Batman's torso looks odd. The legs. I know he wasn't going for like perfection here, but it just looks odd. He looks more like elongated man in a Batman suit than Batman. And like the style is okay, like I said, but it's a little much. I just feel like I wouldn't enjoy it. It's close, but it's not there.
There's a great Masafara for this book this time around. I think that's what people should focus on. I mean, that's a $5 book.
Yeah, oversaturated.
Felipe Masafara.
Yeah, and that's it's cover price, right?
It's much better. Yeah, it's a much better cover than this.
There you go. Save yourself some money and get a better cover.
Yep.
And DC does that favor for you when they have these terrible incentives.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Mike?
No, I think you hit it. You hit it right. It's just oversaturated color in the wrong places. The characters both look way too skinny.
Yeah.
It's a no.
Yeah, I realize how big Superman's head is compared to his body.
Batman needs a wee and Superman needs a sandwich.
Yes, let's move on. All right, we've got... Wait, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Okay. We've got Catwoman number 66. It's a 1 in 50 by Scott Forbes. All right, Mike. This looks a little bit better, but what do you think?
Yeah, a little bit better, but not by much. It's Well, there's the body is what I'm having a problem with. First of all, there's some proportion. The bottom half of the body is too small, and I get that there's some foreshortening perspective here that's trying to happen, but it doesn't. It
pretty
doesn't
sure
work.
that would be what I would look like that.
And it doesn't.
Disproportionate.
It doesn't. There's just
got no hips.
there's some weird rendering choices that look like a step was skipped or a layer was missed. It just kind of looks a little too washed out and sort of the outline and the basic color were added, and then the details weren't. So the face is decent, and I sort of like the floor. I guess that's the floor. We're supposed to be looking at it from an angle,
Right.
with all the money and the jewels and stuff on the floor, and that part's kind of cool. Not sure where the light is coming from. That's another problem. Is the light coming from under the floor?
It kind of looks like a lamp. I'm imagining a lamp fell over and it's facing toward her.
Oh, okay. And so did the camera fell over, and that's what we're seeing?
Oh, that might be it.
I don't know. That's about the only thing I can guess. So it's again close, but a nope, and especially not at a 1 in 50.
Yeah, I agree. It is close. I actually have the same exact problems. The body is a little off, and the face is bothering me. It looks almost too real, or surreal. Like you said, because the body looks smaller, her head looks a lot bigger. So it feels like an Alice in Wonderland thing going on here, you know?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Just a little. It's not gargantuan, but it's a little off-putting. So yeah, this is a pass, and definitely at a 1 in 50, he needed to nail it.
It is selling for more than
I guess I can see it on first look. You go, oh, it looks really good, but then when you start looking at the details, you're like, oh, I'm missing some details, and there's some proportional issues, and just hopefully
1 in 50 needs to knock me over, and this one just doesn't do that.
Yeah. I just hope that people who get it don't regret it. Because if it's going for more than ratio, this is going to hurt your pockets. All right. We both agree, so let's move on. All right. The Amazing Spider-Man number 52, 1 in 100. This looks like it's a version of the A cover by Pablo Villalobos. All right, Mike.
Thank you, Pablo. What I think I like most about this cover is that it doesn't just look like a Adam Hughes ripoff. Of course, I love it because it's a great butt cover, and I'm a sucker for those.
Alonzo approved.
I love the Art Deco background. Not now. I love the Art Deco background. That is obviously supposed to be the wall of the safe, but clearly, I'm assuming that's not a plot choice. So that Art Deco design is really cool. It really adds a lot of cool design aesthetic to the whole cover.
There's a trait.
I mean, she looks amazing. I love the hair. It's a lot. It's very 80s hair, but I love it anyway. I think this is a great cover. I probably won't even attempt to get a 1 in 100 of it, but I think I'll try to get the regular one.
Yeah, I mean, same art. It's the art is made so that there could be a trade dress there. So yeah, save yourself some money because on 1 in 100. I know there are Villalobos fans out there, so I'm sure there will be some people pining for it. I like you said, I like the Art Deco as well. It gives me that Flash vibe where it's like the police department.
Yeah.
Right?
I was thinking Great Gatsby, but yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it just very, what is it, like in the 30s or 40s or 50s, like they went like that futuristic look. So I dig it. She's not like overly bodacious, so I can appreciate that he still made it curvy without being overdone.
Yep.
And I just like all the details. It just looks very clean.
Yep.
This might be one of those covers that people are going to enjoy just for the cover, period. I can see that happening in the future. So go get your copy, because I'm definitely going to have to try to grab one. Well, I should. It should be in my pull box. Not the 1 in 100, just the A cover. All right. Oh, these are back. All right, we've got the Scotty Youngs. I believe these are 1 in 50s or 1 in 100s. I'm not sure. But these are the sketch or black and white variants of the regular covers. Oh my God, Mike, you have to go first.
That's all I got is a big sigh. If there's a gun to my head and I have to choose, I'm taking like Spider-Punk. But I just these are just barely passable covers in their color versions, and they're really kind of embarrassing as line drawings. And that at 1 in 50, I mean, and I'm not being hard. I'm trying not to be overly harsh on Scotty. We've talked about how he's used this thing to give himself in a particular market, and he's done really well with it, and I have to applaud him for his business acumen. But it doesn't mean the covers are good. And I get that if you were to walk up to his table and he were to draw you this, you would freak out and pass out, right?
I would agree.
So I get that part of it, but that's not what you're getting. You're getting a multiple printed book. Yeah, I'd love him to go draw me that Spider-Punk. That would be badass to own that as a real original piece of art. And I don't mind the Doctor Strange, especially the magic hands on that. And who's the other one supposed to be? Is that Captain Marvel down there on the bottom?
Yes.
The Cap looks kind of bad. And the Thor is right up there with how bad that Hulk was last week. So those are really awful. But so
you mean the Derpy Hulk?
So yeah, Derpy Hulk. That's perfect. That's exactly what that was. So the Spider-Punk isn't bad. The Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel are meh. The other ones actually suck.
There's no argument for me, Mike. It just, when Scotty does these, there's not a lot of details for these characters. They're very kid-like characters. It's more made for a kid's book.
Yeah.
And I would say it's good art for a kid's book, but it's like you said, I would be more excited if he drew this for me when I went up to his table.
Yep.
You know, and usually when you do that, it's gonna be a 1 of 1, right? Yeah, it's hard to duplicate exactly what he's gonna do for each single person's sketch. And what Trish said, it just looks like his sketchbook. Like it was, he already did these drawings. He's just like, oh, cool, and I can use them for covers.
Yep, that's probably exactly what they are.
And so this is nothing special for me, and so that's why I wouldn't even invest in the incentives. If you're a huge Scotty Young fan and you enjoy the black and whites, go for it. I have no arguments for you. It's just not for me, and obviously not for Mike either.
Nope.
All right, let's get rid of this and probably see this next week too. All right, that was the last one. So on to store exclusives. So we've got our first store exclusive from a new comic book store, The Sleeping Giant. This is by Nathan Zerdy. It's Phoenix #1. I guess I'll go first. At first, I was okay, and then there's just something that's off-putting about like the face area, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the face. It's nothing really wrong with it per se. I just feel like it's framed weird with her hands. It's kind of throwing me off. Maybe because she's like doing the Batusi or something. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Usually, like she's like her arms are out instead of like doing this stuff. So, but the rest of it's okay. But I don't know. It's not for me. It's okay. It's just not for me. How about you, Mike?
No, it's definitely not for me. This is pretty low end Zerdy, and that's saying something these days. And some of his stuff is pretty low end in general right now. This actually looks like he tried to draw an action figure instead of a human. It's got that weird like swivel neck look to it.
Yeah, I think that's what's throwing me off. Is the head neck area is really throwing me off.
And so as a result, it still looks pretty static. Even though it's trying to be, but there's only so much you can, I don't know, fake as far as dynamics go. If it's not dynamic, it's just not. So this just feels static. It feels like a drawing of an action figure. It's too thin. It looks like it's got that like wiggle, that like, that joint that a lot of figures have at the belly.
The hip?
The belly joint, that
the torso joint that really like folds over. Yeah.
That one. That's what it looks like it has, and then it's just like smoothed over. And so all those just give me action figure vibes, and I'd almost rather just have a photo of an action figure. To be honest.
I mean, you know what? But I dig the fire.
Yeah. But isn't that just a tool in Photoshop now?
I bet it is. I bet it's so easy to do now.
Add fire. Click.
I'm sure it's just a setting. Yeah. But you're right. It's like someone did a comic book art in the background and then they try to add an action figure drawing. You're right. So that's what the uncanny valley is for me. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We've got Batman Adventures number 16. By Pablo Villalobos, and it's homaging the Convergence Zero cover. So what do you think, Mike?
Not his best work. The face is effed up. He falls into the. I feel like he falls into the Harley as too young a girl thing here, which surprises me because he usually draws characters looking very mature, and this one just doesn't look like that. I think the rest of it's also a little too busy, whereas the hues, which is what that convergence is, has more contrast and separation.
Yes,
and therefore looks better. I also don't think that's one of Hughes's best covers either. So I'm not sure I can get behind that being homaged. So I think it's a rare fail for Lobos in this case, a rare fail. And also that I know the hammer's supposed to be exaggerated, but that's a little too much. She couldn't ever possibly fucking hold that thing.
Oh, I wish they would do that in the movie. That'd be hilarious. and she can't pick it up because it's too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, she looks like that girl from American Pie, like the friend.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
God, you're right. That's exactly. Yeah. Good call on that. I'm frozen. Damn it. I'm frozen again. I'm frozen.
Yeah. So
Tara Reid. There you
go.
go.
Yeah. Yes.
My wife coming through.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, I mean, it's not very great as an homage either. I would never know.
Nah, me either.
And I don't think a lot of people would ever know.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna homage any of Adam Hughes' stuff, there's so much to homage.
Of all the Catwoman Hughes covers, that's the one he chose to homage. I mean, there's some really iconic ones that people would know right off the bat. How about the safe one in the mirror, or the? Fuck, I mean, we've had the lost numbers one way too many times, so let's skip that fucking thing. But there's plenty of other covers from that are equally as recognizable, and this is not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think. Not to me. And I mean, I own that Convergence cover, but than more, more to be a completist than because I really like the cover.
I would have thought this was more homaging a playing card.
Yeah, it does kind of have that feel to it. You're right.
Right? Like the Joker card or something like that. So But yeah, this is a pass, especially at $35. And I don't even know if it's 500 limited. So yeah, that's odd. All right. Hey, we're done.
What?
That was quick. No wonder he put so many incentives in. He only had a couple of store exclusives.
Yeah, I mean, not a great week. He didn't put in I mean, of course, I'm a homer for it, but there is a virginized Selena Red Sonja this week. That is, at least I think it's this week. That wasn't last week, was it?
I don't know. Was it incentive or store exclusive?
No, it's an incentive. I think it's a 1 in 10. I don't know. It doesn't make any difference, but it's a really good one. There's also a Middleton for that Red Sonja as well, which is also really pretty. So if you're looking for that stuff, there's also trade dress versions of them because Dynamite.
Yes, of course.
But those are both pretty. And I know I'm a Red Sonja homer and I'm a Selena homer. I know. But still, they are actually beautiful covers, regardless of my bias toward them. So
they can be both and the same, sir. Does that make sense?
Yes, I guess they.
Okay. And
it is. I hope, with my time permitting, it'll be regular again. So. Check out Cover Fire on CBSI. That's comicbookinvest.com. Hi, buddy. Every Tuesday, late morning, early afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Depending on your time zone. And check out covers that are not incentives and not store exclusive, just regular cover priced goodness that I think are good this week or any week. Some of the ones we already kind of looked at tonight in their incentive versions, but it's a quick article this week. There's not a ton of great covers, but the ones that are good are really good. So go check it out.
Yes, go check out his article. He'll help you save some money or spend some money.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it.
Yes. I think that is it. Sir, I will give a shout out to our sponsors really quick.
Yep.
All right. If you want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you just got to type in the code Nerdvana14 on their website. It's a great tool to have. It's great to keep track of your collection and keep up with the market. They also give prices for raw and CGC graded ones. And then you can go over to Bird City Comics. You can get 10% off your purchase with the code TNH10. They have store exclusives. They have incentives for sale. They even have some toys for sale. So go check it out. And then if you go over to displaygeek.com, you can protect those toys by buying from displaygeek.com to get some covers. So, I mean, not covers, protectors for your toys, your Funko Pops, your video games, and you can store them as well. Save 10% off your first purchase by typing the code Team Nerdherd. All right, sir.
I'm going to interject about our sponsors just real fast.
Yes.
At least the first two. Cover Price, in my opinion, is the best tool out there to track prices, covers, your collection. And it is an awesome tool. People do this on podcasts all the time. They're like, I own those. I own that pair of underwear. They changed my life. In this particular case, I really think Cover Price is worth it for free or for 99 cents or for whatever they charge. Normally, it's an excellent, excellent platform. And then Bird City. Yes, there are friends. I think we're pretty transparent about that. But man, they really curate their artists and their covers really well. They only really put out what they like. And there's not a lot of companies doing that. Succeed. Now, Display Geek, I've never gotten anything from Display Geek. I probably should with all the shit that I have in my house. But I can let Jeff talk more about that.
Yeah, I mean, for the toys that you have, especially some of the loose stuff, you want to get protectors for those and those clear acrylic cases. I'm sure he sells those. So, I mean, I have Funko protectors. I have shelving from him. These are like, it's cardboard. So it was easy to put together and they're very stable. So I have no complaints and he's a good friend. So I just, support him. That's all.
Yeah.
And you got to try it out. You just look at the people's comments on his websites and Yelp and wherever else you want to look. You can make your own decision for yourself and try it out. But yeah, I agree with Mike. The first two sponsors, of course, I have cover price myself, and I have purchased from Bird City Comics plenty of times. I know there are friends, but
too many times.
Honestly, yeah, I purchased from them probably more than anybody else. But, when you like certain artists and they get those artists and they do good work, what can you do?
Yep.
All right, Mike, can you please give our disclosure?
I sure can. No artists were harmed in the making of this podcast.
All right, people. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Cover Lovers. We will be back next week. I think Saturday morning Toy Box will be back on Saturday. Don't forget to check out the other Nearing Nirvana shows during the week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Also, Week in Geek might be back this week, but I am still recovering, so we'll see. You guys will know on the Instagrams. All right. So with that said, Mike, can you take us out?
If you want to do it right, buy what you like. Cover horse for life.
Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.